If you're a guy who's at least an 8, if you're a handsome guy,
yeah,
she's gonna buy into that. She's gonna go, oh, ha ha ha, look at you. But if you're a guy who's kind of ugly,
yeah,
and you come up and you have an even better line, so if you're an ugly guy and you come up with something really charming and you compliment and you be nice, she'll think you're a creep.
Blair, how about you?
Same old
Stuff, yeah? Yeah, thank you very much for showing up, bro. So the Real Xchange, we're back again, and we got Blair in the building. Woo! Bro, tell me this though, yeah? Love at first sight. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think people watch too much TV, and I think that love at first sight's kind of for handsome people. I've only ever, anytime I've been in love at someone at first sight, and then I've seen someone and I've thought, wow, yeah, you know, this is like something I've seen on TV. Oh, yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then she will will catch eyes. You
Right.
know the way you see those films and like two people sort of catch eyes and they look at each other and it's like kismet and it's like, oh, this is the person I'm meant to be with. I'll sort of look at,
you made that decision straight away, just
oh yeah, listen, I'm a love rat. I will. This is the difference. So when women really underestimate the sort of way that guys look at love and relationships and stuff. Yeah. I'm already, whenever I look at a girl who's just about to get on the bus,
yeah,
and I see her face, I automatically, I'm sort of thinking, Jesus, on our first date, I'm thinking about like putting petrol in the car and like getting in the car and like going, well, how was things? I think about every little tiny detail about stuff just from a glance on the bus.
So you.
No,
I mean, first,
I don't because it doesn't, again, that's only meant for like doctors and things.
Yeah.
But whenever I see a girl at first sight,
yeah,
I'll give her this look as if to be like, you are the one for me. But she'll turn around and when she catches my eye,
yeah,
she sort of looks at me like I'm a benevolent uncle. So she'll give me this look. It'll be more of a.
Why
it'll just be like a.
Like, who's this script? Oh, like just like
yeah, like an accidental, like, oops, sorry. Or she was looking at somebody else behind me. So no, I don't. That's TV stuff.
That's TV stuff. So you don't believe it exists?
No.
Love at first sight, right? But then, I mean, so something that's get you attracted to someone, right? You've got to what, like features or the smile. Sometimes,
smile.
What
I love the smile is that too many teeth look. I like that too many teeth.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at something, you think that looks like 60 teeth, and there's just no way that that's humanly possible in someone's face. But when you look at someone and that sort of smile just lights up, that's big for me. Yeah.
So if you were in a train, because the scenario you gave was, you know,
public transport.
Public transport.
The sexiest thing in the world, public transport. Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to meet someone, right? You don't get, you have
more chances. Yeah,
you have more chances of meeting someone.
That takes cojones to be able to approach a woman in public transport and say, well, how's things? I mean, again, that's only built for handsome people, because I know if you were a...
Come on, man, no. You're a handsome guy.
No, I'm not, no, so bro. If you're a 7 out of 10, if you're a woman who's at least a 7, 6, 7, even a 5, if you're sitting on the train and a guy approaches you and he says, oh, what about, I don't know, some nonsense like what's the weather like or how's the coronavirus keeping or whatever. If you're a guy who's at least an 8, if you're a handsome guy, she's going to buy into that. She's going to go, oh, ha ha ha, look at you. But if you're a guy who's kind of ugly and you come up and you have an even better line, so if you're an ugly guy and you come up with something really charming and you compliment and you be nice, she'll think you're a creep. So all that stuff you see on TV with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney and stuff, that is for TV land. That never happens in real life, and when it does, it's meant for. So
I think the way you're looking at it is you're thinking if you like someone and they don't like you back, you know, it's supposed to be
that was 6 years of school for me.
6 years. But you get what I'm saying though, like, so if you like someone and then they like you back, then that's love at first sight. Is that what it is?
No, but it's a good foundation.
It's a good foundation.
Because I know I've got the personality in the bank. I've got all that stuff. Right. That's why when I meet a girl in the bar and she sees me, just for the purposes of the camera, I'll just very briefly stand up. That's how short I am. Okay, I'm a small man.
You're a small man.
Right? So whenever I'm in the bar, okay, and girls say, I just say to them, listen, I know about all this, but just come here for 5 minutes to talk to you.
Right.
And they'll maybe change their mind, possibly.
Yeah. So for the girl, it wasn't love at first sight. You would have to do a whole lot of explanation for her to see.
Absolutely. There's far too much competition. Far too much competition. It's flipped around. Women used to think, oh, it's men who choose women.
But is it love at first sight when it is for both parties, or one party actually falls in love at the first sight and then the other party has to...
That's what I said at the start. I'm in love at somebody. There's a difference between being in love with someone and being in love at someone.
So you're saying the person...
That happens to me about 5 times a day.
5 times a day? Man, you've got a whole lot of love in you, man. You've got a whole lot of love in you. But then, you see, that also brings, brings us to another question, right? So, so what do you think could determine how long a relationship will last, based on, for example, how long you've been dating? So let's say marriages, for example. Okay. So because I know a lot of people probably end up being in a long relationship, but there's no like serious commitment in terms of marriage. And some people like date for a few months and then they get married and they have a long-lasting relationship.
So there's an old adage, and I wish I'd coined it myself. I'm not going to pretend that I came up with this myself, but I'm sure anyone has heard it, that women need love to have sex and men need sex to feel love. And I think, if you have both of those marry up quite well, then you're looking at something long term. So I mean, that boils it down, minimalizes it, but not really. I mean, I think, of course, physical attraction and physical passion is very important, especially at the start. But I think other than that, the main thing is maybe sense of humor, having the same sense of humor, being able to have a laugh together,
right.
And being able to just basically be yourself with somebody. But you need to be within your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't be, because if you go with a girl who you know is outside of your lane, trust me, she will then find someone else within her lane or above her lane.
What do you mean in your lane?
Okay,
like,
so
explain.
Okay, so
I mean, I have an idea what you're saying, but for
the people at home
watching,
So that's why you hear people saying like, okay, I'm a something out of 10 or such and such. That'll factor in looks, especially employment too, but that matters more for guys. So if you're a fella and you work in the spa behind the till, okay, forget about marrying a doctor. It's not happening, okay, because women need a man to either, so women can go across and up.
That's not generic. You're not being generic here, are you?
No, I'm being really, really serious. So women can go across and up, okay? But men can go across, down and up, because men don't really care about that stuff. Guys don't really care what career you're doing, okay? If I was a doctor and I walked into the spa and it was just a really nice little pretty girl who was really nice and smiley and charming to me and said something nice, I'd fucking take her home that night, excuse my language. So that's the difference between women need to be made to feel secure, and that's completely understandable. They need to feel like their man can provide for them, protect them, and that's not a sexist thing to say. I'm sure people will pretend to be offended by that, but it's totally understandable.
So is it a status thing then? Is it a status thing? You just want to be with someone who was in the same status as you?
This is what I'm talking about, lanes, okay? That's stay within your lane, because you'll be much happier. If you go outside of your comfort zone,
right,
then you will find it uncomfortable.
So you're saying, for example, you can't be like jumping buses and expect to date someone who drives, a car or like a really good car.
No, because that's different. That's not a.
How is it different?
Because that's not a financial lane. It's not a career lane. It's not anything. That's just your mode of transport.
Yeah. So you could be what if you're well-to-do. Supposedly.
Okay, so if you look at central London,
no, we're in Belfast. We're in Belfast.
Oh, so we're talking very specifically.
Yeah,
so
very specifically.
Very specific. Okay, well, Belfast, there may be people who work maybe in the centre of Belfast, or maybe in the city hospital, whatever, who would rather not drive because it's a bit of a pain in the arse to get to and from work that way. Right. But there may be a doctor or a nurse. I know plenty of nurses that get the bus.
Right. So transportation is not really a big factor here for someone in Belfast.
I'll say again. Girls like a guy who can drive and can take them places. If a girl doesn't drive, guys don't care that much. A girl likes a guy who can drive and has maybe possibly a nice
So I'm just trying to understand your analogy with someone who is working in detail and like going out with a doctor.
Yeah, if you're a guy, if you work in the spa Okay.
Yeah.
You can drive or not, doesn't make a difference. If you're
no offense to people that work in the spa, though.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
But if you work in the spa, go with somebody who works in the garage.
Bro, that's some below the belt hit there. That one there is below the belt, man. Come on, what's wrong with you, man?
You don't work in the garage. Come on, stop below the belt.
I get what you're saying, but
I'm using that as an example.
As an example.
Yep.
Yeah. But sometimes girls do like it, like when you're, showing that level of confidence, because it shows confidence, right?
If you look like Jamie Dornan and you work in the spa,
right,
you probably got a good chance of possibly going to the doctor. If you look like me and work in the spa, possibly not the same chances.
So it's not. That's nothing
looks
to do
can
with
supersede. Looks can supersede salary. Looks can supersede salary if they are exceptional.
So this takes us back to the topic, yeah. Love at first sight.
Love at first sight.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're saying basically there's nothing. So you could be attracted to somebody for the first time. You're seeing them.
Yep.
But then other factors need to come into play, like their status in life. What they do, their personality.
It shouldn't. People who like to think of themselves as sort of sweethearts, probably like to think that it doesn't matter what you do for a living, or it doesn't. It's like, okay, we'll do a survey.
Yeah.
Do a survey at every level.
Yeah.
We'll see how many relationships are within what I'm talking about. We'll see. We'll just do a survey, and we'll see how many people stay within their lanes.
Well, I mean,
both looks and financially and.
It's complementary. I believe it's complementary. If you're, for example, with someone who probably shares the same values, understands your language in terms of your level of understanding, exposure, that sort of stuff, which you'll probably find based on the sort of work that you do and the kind of friends you keep and maybe your background and stuff like that there. But so when we're saying love at first sight, I believe it's people who will probably just meet themselves by chance, maybe in any situation.
Again.
Right?
Sorry, I didn't cut you off. Again, statistically, I would say, if you looked it up, chance meetings are maybe 5% of how people meet. I would say it's through friends, it's through work. There's always especially in this country as well. I know we've talked before about people from here, and the people have too much shame. People from here don't like to chance it or walk up to somebody in the bus or the train and say, hi, my name's such and such.
Right.
What about you? It's rare that would happen.
It doesn't happen much, yeah.
Doesn't have much.
Why is it that people here are shy?
Well, that's what I was saying. Shy and too much shame.
Like self-consciousness or self-awareness.
Self-consciousness, and someone's going to know them.
It's a small country.
So it's a small country, and I don't know if you've ever seen Four in a Bed or Come Dine With Me or Dinner Date.
Yeah.
There's a reason why none of those are based in Belfast or Northern Ireland, and it's because someone's going to know who that is. You go, that's Jimmy, or that's Dylan, or that's Sarah. Someone's going to know who that is, and that's why they don't do it, because you'll be ruined as a person. But that's sort of just before you can, and I just touch on that thing about talking about love at first sight and love and what it means. People talk about soulmates. There's a reason why your soulmate lives around the corner.
What's the reason?
Because that's how people meet. People say, this is the one for you. It's like, okay, so it's weird how the one for me and the 7 billion people there are in the world, my soulmate just happens to live 2 blocks away.
2 blocks away. So people just feel comfortable in their own zone.
Of course, and there's a reason for that. It's because you grew up in a similar area, you have similar tastes, you have similar experiences, possibly similar, not that it matters really, it shouldn't, but can in some instances, similar religion, similar culture, things like that.
Yeah.
It's just easier for people to bond in those.
I mean, this is an interesting topic, and I suppose
it's endless. I know that's why.
Oh yeah, you know what? We will discuss a lot more about this maybe in future episodes, because it's so interesting, a topic to discuss.
And it can't really be simplified in that, I'm not trying to be, don't want to come across as someone who's like, you should only really be such and such, but I'm just saying, go and try your fairy tale nonsense of stopping someone on the bus
in Belfast.
Exactly.
That's true. Blair, that was really insightful. I enjoyed that. Definitely.
Right.
Right, on the real exchange, how it is. We always ask this few questions, just some certain level of awareness questions that we raise. To see how much of general knowledge.
Now, DeeRay, I like to think of myself as a fairly level-headed bloke.
Right.
So don't stitch me up with something here that's going to make me look like
I'm going to try. Nah, but I trust you though. I trust you.
Okay,
I trust you.
Ask me anything about sharks or Nazis, you've got me.
Oh yeah. So first question here, right?
Yeah.
So now the Hawthorns is home to
Say that
which?
again?
The Hawthorns.
Hawthorns?
Hawthorns, yeah, yeah. So it's home to what English football club?
West Brom.
West Bromwich Albion. Brilliant, man. Do you watch football?
No, hate football.
That's why I asked that question, man. I was hoping you get that wrong.
Well, I have general knowledge.
Okay, all right. So second question: what is the busiest airport in Britain called?
Okay, I'm gonna guess Heathrow.
London Heathrow. That's correct. Third question: what side of the road do people in Australia drive?
The left.
You've been to Australia before?
No.
Bro, you're gonna get all these questions?
It's the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Part of the Commonwealth. We drive on the left. Australia, we drive on the left.
No, so that's not correct. Nigeria is part of the Commonwealth, they don't drive on the left.
Well, take a chance.
All right, the last one here. So in tennis, what piece of fruit is found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy?
What fruit?
Yeah, what fruit?
I'm not gonna get this. Apricot.
Wrong.
Peach?
Nope. You're guessing now, though.
I know, of
You're
course.
just
Oh,
guessing.
fuck, man.
You're not allowed to guess.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to guess. Well, anyway, you want to give it one more go?
Okay. What piece of fruit on top of the men's tennis
Trophy.
trophy?
Yeah. For Wimbledon.
Okay, so what? Okay, tennis. What kind of fruit could possibly be associated with tennis? Not the banana, because that would be daft. I'm gonna go with the apple.
Okay, wrong again. Wrong again. I'm just gonna help you out here, okay?
You're gonna put me out of my misery.
Yeah, help you out really great. So it's the pineapple.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have guessed that right, actually. Nah.
Oh, don't say that in front of the camera. you do that. You're asking questions about stuff that you know. Don't.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the assumption, right? That I know it. All right, bro. So it was really good having you on the show today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank
And
you.
definitely we'll be reaching out to you some more
brilliant.
because there will be a lot more topics, controversial topics this time around that we'll be talking about. So until next time,
Until next time.
say peace out to my people. Yeah.